Consider this. For the first decade of the Internet's existence, it had a minimal impact on the average person's life. In the early to mid-90s, the Internet and related electronic hardware began to transform the lives of the average person. People found a new way to stay informed and gather information. In less than a few years, students had turned to the Internet for research. Media outlets began to post content online. Viewers and audiences found additional and replay content that could not be located anywhere else. In an even more rapid turnaround, the idea and invention of Web 2.0 technologies and a growing number of homegrown media outlets have turned traditional media into a dinosaur, challenging the business model of long-existing media and communication companies. Yes, technology in only a few short years has rapidly grown and changed at an unimaginable pace. It is the pace of change that makes projecting the realities of the future nearly impossible. However, in the midst of this unpredictable future, an opportunity has arisen. Those among us with the ability to think big, to dream, they have a chance to step into the role of leading. Those who can imagine the future in a different light and who can convey those changes through some available medium have a chance to lead. Specifically, those in charge of current long-standing media and communication outlets. When we asked members of our community, leaders in various local communication companies, and specialists in their fields, what their vision of the future looked like, we noticed something unique. These self-sufficient, successful, courageous leaders in their own industries have already subscribed to the beliefs and visions of dreamers who have communicated their own visions to the world. We asked community members where they thought technology would go in 30 years and what their vision of the future was. Here's what we got.
So it'll probably be like where people can walk around with what that is, have a projector on there and just use a computer anywhere you go to find whatever you need.
That gives you relevant information about whatever is in front of you. So we see Pranav here going into the supermarket and he's shopping for some paper towels. And as he picks up a product, the system can recognize the product that he's picking up using either image recognition or marker technology and give him the green light or an orange light. He can ask for additional information. So this particular choice here is a particularly good choice.
It'll be kind of exciting actually, and I don't even think it's 30 years, I think it's even in the next 10 years. You can see the trends now as everything is getting smaller and smaller, and you're able to do so much more on a small device. So basically it's going to go, we're going to be to the point of the Dick Tracy, wristwatch you're talking to, and that's probably where it's headed.
I see computers in 30 years being used everywhere. Everybody will have a laptop with them. There'll be no more desktops. Nobody will have a desktop computer. It'll just be too big.
The problem, of course, is how do you input into these things as they get smaller and smaller. It's not practical to run a business on a cell phone keyboard. So probably what will happen is things will become more voice-centric, that you'll be able to talk to your communications device, your computer, and have it do things. I'm not sure if I see us walking down the street with a 3D glasses and watching a movie as you're walking down the street, kind of in a heads-up display type thing. I mean, it certainly can happen, but for day-to-day, that might not be the case. But there's a lot of people, working in industries that would require that.
I'd like to think that there is still going to be a place for newspapers, but I'm not sure what kind of a medium or a delivery product it'll be. We were talking about the flexible newspaper?
Yeah, there's been some technology that they've been working on over the past few years, including it's almost like a flexible newspaper. You can roll it up, it's a screen, you touch it.
Reading the newspaper, it never has to be outdated. You can get video annotations of the events that you're reading about. You can get the latest sports scores.
It's going to be difficult to say we're 30 years, 30 years out, because half a year ago I wouldn't have been betting where journalism is right now.
Before you know it, transmitters and antennas and all that sort of stuff will be a thing of the past. I think once the internet gets mobile in cars, and they're talking about that happening probably within the next couple of years, if not sooner, it's really going to change the whole dynamics of everything. But I really do see instant portability wherever you go, being able to get whatever you need for radio or broadcasting in general, literally in the palm of your hand. That's what I see happening. You still have to have a good product there, but it's going to be more accessible in not only through the internet, but probably through ways we haven't even seen yet.
Television in 30 years is going to go a lot of places. I see television becoming more aesthetically pleasing. It's no longer going to be one of those where you're going to have to sit at home and watch TV. It's going to be on your handheld device. You're going to be able to take it with you. It's going to be on the internet, especially with internet capabilities getting faster. I see stations putting their shows, their products on the internet and actually creating internet channels. I definitely see it becoming more interactive. I think you're going to find out that television isn't only going to be visually appealing, but possibly even aromatically appealing. Maybe like a smell-o-vision, sending electronic signals to release certain smells during programs. I see it's going to become less of a watching and more of an interaction process. So we pose one question to you. Will you be the dreamer? Will you be the visionary? Will you create the technology of the future?